Well, howdy-ho, everybody. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Red Baron. Thank you for joining me. I've been away for a little while celebrating Valentine's Day, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Been away from the charts for about 3-4 days, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a little bit more extensive look at the market coming up here, see what's going on, what's been going on in my absence, and I will be back with you here in just a couple seconds. So you guys are new to live stream. We always have a little bit of radio silence here where I alert the usual suspects in our Discord to let them know that I am on live stream, so everybody can join the chat. So give me a couple minutes here of silence. If you guys are watching tape delay, go ahead and fast forward. We'll get to you here in just a second. So bear my silence for just a couple seconds, and we'll be right on back to you. Hold on just 1 minute. Give me just a second, guys. I'll be live here in just a minute. Of course, obviously, I just already said this once, but we have a little bit of radio silence here while I go ahead and alert the troops, let everybody know that I'm on live stream here. Give me just a couple minutes, and I will be right with you here. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for joining me again. Today is Thursday, 2/17/2022. Let's see if we got any money left in the markets here. So, again, for you guys that are new on live stream, had a lot of new subscribers here over the last month. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Red Baron. I'm from Fibicharts.com. That's our automated intelligence-powered charting service, and you can join us if you'd like to subscribe to our service at Fibicharts.com, Fibicharts.com. That's short for Fibonacci, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. And then, of course, obviously, if you'd like to join us at our free Discord, we'd love to have you at that. You can take our shortcut and go to theunfairadvantage.chat, and that's a free Discord. And of course, if you subscribe to the higher levels of VIP on Fibicharts, you do get into the higher levels of chat and the predictions. And we give price calls and that sort of thing. That's for gold level and for platinum level and stuff like that. And we'll talk about that here later on in the show. So, what's been going on, guys? I've been, I kind of did a little impromptu run here this weekend on Sunday. I just couldn't take it anymore. So, some of you guys are new on live stream. I tell a lot of stories and stuff. So this is not always just about charts. People kind of love to just kind of voyeuristically listen in on my life. I've got a rather interesting life. I'm a world traveler and a multi-business owner and stuff like that. I've got thousands and thousands of stories. So I'm always running around talking about stuff, about personal stuff that I do and whatever. So sometimes that stuff kind of leaks into our broadcast a little bit. So just bear with me. You'll get to know me. It gets to be rather annoying sometimes if you don't understand what you're in on some of the jokes. But hang out. You'll start to learn. You'll start to learn our ways of doing things around here. We're just a little more casual than the typical crypto place, but we do have a higher degree of accuracy also, so that's kind of cool. So anyway, on a personal note, I went ahead and I went to North Carolina, went down, saw one of our lead moderators, Domain, hung out, ate some of his food, so that was pretty cool. Thank you very much. And his wife is an amazing cook, so I'll drive across the country for her food, so it's pretty cool. So while I was down there, you guys that love to hear my personal life, apparently I've ended up with another Ukrainian girlfriend, so we'll see how long this one lasts. So the last one ended up getting smashed into by a car and ended up getting damn near terminal brain damage. So hopefully this one will last long enough till the new girlfriend smell wears off. So we'll see. We'll see if that works out. But anyway, I've been down there, spent an amazing time with her for about 2 days. Did a real quickie Valentine thing, and I know you guys were freaking out because I wasn't around. So I decided to turn tail and come all the way back here. So a little adventure story here. I'll tell you a little bit about my trip back. So I'm based around Chicago. And so it's amazing weather down there in North Carolina, and some of you guys are in that part of the country. Tell you what, I race cars as a kind of a hardcore hobby, and the guys here know the kind of cars that I drive and stuff like that. And I had a twin turbo SUV that I was driving down there, and I've never had a chance to really wring that thing out on the public streets. And let me tell you what, that is one hell of a place to test drive a car. I averaged. I was with a Jaguar F-Pace, and myself and a couple of Corvettes were averaging about 130 to 140 miles an hour for over 100 miles down there. Where are the cops? There are no cops down there. I mean, just floating on those roads. I mean, just amazing, smooth as glass and stuff like that. Everybody drives an average of 110 miles an hour down there. People got places to go and shit to do, but it's pretty awesome. I loved it. So I had a good time. So anyway, I started to hear 9-inch snowstorms coming into the Chicagoland area. So I thought, so I started to head back, and then my brakes went out. I had a brake sensor go out, so I drove 1,200 miles with a brake sensor because I'm not about to pay $1,200 for a set of brake pucks at a Porsche dealer. I can do it myself. So I drove back with it was a little dicey to say the least. So I got back, pulled into the garage, everything's cool. So now I got my tools all out, so that's what I'm going to be doing this afternoon is fixing my baby and getting all the shoes back in place and stuff like that. So It's definitely been a hell of a week. It's had its ups and its downs and in and out and whatever. So same goes for the market here. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on. Hold on just a second here. Let me get myself switched over to the correct. No. There we go. So let's take a look at Bitcoin first. Let's start with that. So this morning I came back. Well, last night I came back. I got here about 11:30 last night. Dipped in, took a look at the market, kind of threw a few comments, and we were up around about here. I said, guys, I do expect this to be coming down on top of this channel here, and to no surprise, we've already started to dip fiercely into the purple zone. Just really in the last couple of minutes or so, we are rolling off of green strongly into red. Really have no reason to doubt that this is probably not going to find its way kind of sliding down there and eventually capitulating and dropping down in here. So to kind of sum this up really quick, I won't belabor this too much because the story's been told many, many times where I tell you where this thing is going to go, and we're just waiting it out, guys. We are just waiting it out. It's going to happen. 35,460 is a foregone conclusion. Now let me give you a little reason why I say that's going to be our next strongly expected. We have what we call confluence here. So first of all, we have already have hit that one time. So we've got support and resistance right along there. It's right on top of our box. We also have a half channel that's going to be meeting. So my guess, if I have to make one, is right there, right on the dot. That's where we're going to hit it. And don't be too surprised if that's exactly what happens. That's the power of these grids. They can usually kind of give you not only a date, but almost a time. If you know how to read these things really well, they can usually get you pretty darn close. Close enough for hand grenades, as we like to say. So as far as that goes, that's not a buy signal. That's not a buy target. We're still waiting for the lower expectancy. So let's talk about that. Part of the reason why I decided to kind of shuck out and go celebrate Valentine's is because I knew there was really no chance we were going to have a massive up or a massive down. I mean, again, like I said, once you know how to read these charts and you kind of understand a little bit, you start to understand that there's times when you don't have to live in front of these charts. If you know how to read them. And so I knew I had an easy week that I could get out. Brakes on cars and whatnot withstanding. I knew that it was pretty much not going to happen. So some of you guys know that I have retired from the 21 group. That's kind of a tentative thing. It's kind of like the mafia. You can't. you never really truly retire. So I had a talk with some of those guys on the road while I was coming back, and so I'll leave it at this. I'm not going to contribute my skills to the group anymore on a daily basis because I'm being used. How's the most polite way to put this? My predictions are being used past to other people who are passing those predictions off as their own, and I'm going to put a raging stop to that right now because there's people within that group that are on other YouTube channels that are passing the information that they're getting from me off as being, their calls. They're referencing me, I guess, before they go out on a limb and make a call of their own. So we're going to put a stop to that. So I've retired from the 21 group. That's a group of our upper-end military psychics, remote viewers, and insiders, Pentagon people, etc., etc. So I'm in an advisory role, but I will not hand that information to those folks the way that I used to. So we have a friendly relationship where there's certain people that I'm good friends with inside of the group. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. So my screen clarity is poor. Are you sure you don't need to get some Windex out there, Christine? I don't know what's going on. Screen clarity I have nothing to do with. That would be YouTube. So how's my sound doing, by the way? I think I pretty much got sound whipped. We were having sound problems for a month of Sundays. I think we pretty much got that all taken care of now. So I'm running at 350% boost on my microphone, so I think everybody should be able to hear me pretty well. I think, Christine, if you're having problems, it's probably your internet connection. You're probably just YouTube's just doing whatever. Like I said, if all else fails, try Windex. All right. So anyway, back to back to what's going on. I've had a few conversations with some of the people that I'm closer with. You guys know that we will still have Veronica Jane on, our in-house gal. She'll come on from time to time. She's very busy, and so am I. So it won't be a thing that we'll be doing every Thursday anymore. Just simply because it's just not enough time in a day for everything to get organized. It takes a lot to put together one of those shows. But anyway, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to start paying a lot more attention to you guys and stuff like that. I'm not going to be dividing my time with them near like I used to. So just kind of want to put you guys on notice. So I am getting a little bit. The point of telling you that story is because on the way home, I had a phone conference with two of our folks, and so the reason why I ducked out on Valentine's Day is I knew I had a pretty good feeling already through my own charts, but through stuff that had been kind of fed to me by some of our other folks, that it looks to me like March 22nd something's going to hit the fan. I've been seeing it. I've been kind of suspecting it. So I suspect kind of mid-March is about when things are going to start to get really icky for us. And this malaise that we're going through, I kind of predicted it. I told you guys that don't expect anything too, neither hot nor cold. There's days of hope every once in a while. So it just is what it is. So don't expect anything too dramatic for a while. But when March hits, I always circle back around to that main thing, that main point that I make. We haven't had the big thing. I got to watch it so I don't trigger YouTube algorithms to give me DOS boot. But you know what I'm talking about. Those big attacks, those things that take down buildings, et cetera, et cetera. None of that stuff has happened. We got one coming. I can't say it publicly. We got one, and it goes boom. Let's just say that. It goes boom, and it has side effects. We got one coming. It's in the cards. So, and if you don't think that's going to take down every single market you can possibly imagine, let me tell you what, you haven't seen a drop. If you think you know what a market drop looks like, you haven't seen anything yet. So, as for me and my coin purse, I'll tell you what, I'm out of a lot of coins right now. I'm sitting liquid in a lot of things. Not a comfortable feeling to be doing right now, but I feel so strongly that there's a lot of downside coming that I'm not willing to even play in the market right now. I'm still holding certain coins that I've got. You guys who have been on the show for a while, been with me for a while, subscribe to VIP, you know those coins that I'm talking about. XRP being one of them. I'm in and out of Rome as it suits my need. Currently, right now, I'm mostly out because, again, excuse me, is the prices that we're seeing right now. Told you it was coming. Told you it was coming. I said 45. I told you this 2 weeks ago. And so the folks that are not listening to me when I'm telling you this stuff, this is why you subscribe to me. This is why you listen to me. When I tell you this stuff, I'm not playing around. So I told you 45 was coming. So you guys had a chance to reposition and pick yourself up some pretty good additional coins, dropping from the $60 to $45, which is what I did. And so I'm still not in yet because I still don't think the bottom's in yet. So I'm ready to buy back in again here whenever it suits me. When I really get the tickles, I'm gonna buy it back. But for right now, basically I'm watching. So I love the project. Still think the project is viable. I don't have any problem with that. But, some of you guys, I do want to address this before I kind of get on to doing market analysis. I got a lot of stuff. I got 3 days worth of stuff racked up here, so let me just download all this and we'll get to business. Some of you guys that subscribe, you seem to have it in your mind that once you buy a coin, that's just it. It's just done. And I'll call it bitching because basically that's what it is. You guys have to understand there's a time when you sell, and a time when you buy, and a time when you trade and reposition. What's done is done. Doesn't work in crypto. Doesn't work in any kind of investment. When it makes sense, like silver. I do the same thing with silver, and it's not easy to do with silver. I bought a considerable amount of silver. I'm up 5-6% on my silver right now. If I get up 10%. I know that price is going down again. If I get up 10%, I will haul all that shit back to the silver dealer and I will dump it and get a big old fat check, and then I'll sit back, wait for the price to drop again. That's a physical metal. If I'll do it with a physical metal, you can bet I'm going to do it with crypto. So I want to address some of the whining that I get from some people that really probably shouldn't be in investment if they don't understand that there's a time to buy and a time to sell and a time to trade, and I guess to the core of my point here, what's done is done. Things change, markets change, events change. I mean, you would be an absolute fool to think that, the entire world freezes just because you made one single decision. So you must understand that there's times when you have to get in and out. If it made sense in January to buy in, February comes along, stuff happens. Maybe it doesn't make sense to be in. But I bought it in January because you said yes. And then we had February and March and April. Things happen. Welcome to life. This is how this works. This is investing. This is why we tell you to wear your big boy or big girl pants, because you have to understand that at the end of the day, you are responsible for monitoring this stuff. I'm here to help you, guide you, but you, at the end of the day, you have to make your own decision. Should I be in or shouldn't I be out? Or should I be out? And again, I'm always willing to share with you what it is that I'm doing. But some of you guys tend to think that, what's done is done. You set it and forget it. This isn't a 3-minute egg or whatever. You have to monitor this thing. So just kind of want to get that off my chest, because I've seen that comment a couple of times, and I want to quash it before it gets out of control. Because the truth of the matter is. Rebase is another thing. Yeah, we won't even get into that, because that's a whole deal. But I actually will say this, Grumpy. Rebase. What about rebase? Rebase is okay. It's fine. It's fine. But if I'm telling you that the damn price of the coin is going to drop $20, which it did, your rebase don't mean squat, because you're not going to make that amount of money that I'm going to make on repositioning from 65 to 45 or 40 or even lower. So sometimes you have to let go of those rebases. So I did that. You do bring up a good point. I did want to mention it. Rebase, by the way, is kind of for you guys that don't know what I'm talking about. There's a coin called Rome Dow, which pays out let's just call it a dividend. It pays a dividend 3 times a day, which is insanely good. But nonetheless, if you can reposition. Miss a few rebases, but pick up $20 less price coin, on a coin that would basically be 40 to 45 bucks. Rebases don't mean squat. So it's just one of those things. You have to sit down, you have to do the math, and you have to weigh your options. So it just is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and get on to the business here. Thank you for letting me download all that stuff. Every once in a while, the longer I'm gone, the more I got to say. So again, we're looking at Bitcoin here. And again, as this goes, so goes the rest of the market. So I do want to show you this. I had mentioned this on VIP Gold. I'm looking really far off in the future. Well, not too far off, but let's just say within the month. So let's take a look at what we had going on here. We had, which kind of could generally be an M formation. So that, again, that's going to take us down here, undeniably going to be down here. So, and I've already got an alarm, Bitcoin dropping to 28.4. So there you go. You've got a giant M formation. So shorter to that, you've also got another thing. You've got a head and shoulders, which didn't quite play out. It went down. It should have went all the way down, picked up a little bit. So this is basically a psych move right here. But as I see this, what am I also seeing is I'm also seeing something, and this is a bit of a stretch, so I'll grant you that. But what I am actually seeing is what could be a broadening descending trumpet, which will still get us at the same. Let me go ahead and do this again in white, which will still get us the same net effect. But a broadening descending trumpet, it basically gets wider and wider as it goes down. I'm just being sloppy here with this, but effectively that could work out like that. And that would happen over the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. Well, we'll just call it 3 weeks. But once we hit the bottom of that, so let me scale way out. Once we hit the bottom of that, we could do one of two things. Now, out of a broadening descending trumpet, or broadening descending wedge, if you will, what should happen is you should break up. But there's, again, we always have a little bit of a psych move that dumps you down lower. And then you could end up going into the thing. You could end up going down here into this area right here. And that's a possibility of probably is about 20-25%. But as the general prediction is right here, I would look for a fake out. So generally what you're looking for here, I'm sorry, I'm reading at the same time I'm talking, so I didn't mean to divert my attention. Generally speaking, when you see that, you bust out to the upside, but don't think that's going to be the case this time. Don't think that's going to be the case this time. All right, so we're working again off you guys that are new to the live stream. We're working off Platinum Pro, which is our VIP upper level. professional traders. So let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, much the same thing. These predictions have been here for a good long time. We're just basically waiting them out. Again, we're still... See, here's that trumpet. I saw the trumpet probably 3 weeks ago. So that trumpet, interesting that trumpet is already here, and I'm just associating it now with Bitcoin. So some of these things show their hand a little bit faster than others. So let me clear this out here so you can kind of see. You can see it very clearly. It's starting to get bigger and more violent, the rises and the drops. So will we go lower? Yeah, I do believe we will go lower, and we'll drop right on down here into the pocket. And I think probably the low end that we'll probably easily see, is probably into this box here, but wouldn't be surprised to see this probably in the 1550 to 1650 range. Would I be a buyer at that? Ultimately, I think I probably would hold out for the big boy, for the big drop. I would probably be looking at anywhere from 1,050 to probably. Let me take that. Yeah, I would probably want to see this thing about $1,200 before I would be a buyer on that. I think that would be perfectly acceptable to get $1,200 Ethereum. Oh boy, you guys know Ethereum's necessary for buying some of these shit coins. Boy, you can buy a lot of stuff at $1,200. That money goes a long way. Certainly beats $4,000, doesn't it? All right, so XRP was kind of an interesting one. Just this week, I mean, we've just had. Let me certainly get on to the 1 day. I've been using 1 day an awful lot more on some of these live streams. This is a little easier to kind of watch it. So again, you're seeing that broadening, descending trumpet a little bit in pretty much all the market. There's really nothing unique. Again, you can see that starting to kind of do that same thing. But it was rather interesting to see that we had busted out of this triangle. This triangle played out for months and months, or weeks and weeks, however long that was, clear back to April. I told you this thing was going to be inside this thing. I said, do not expect this thing to bust out until we get round about the point here. And sure enough, we dip down just a psych and we're right back up in. So we still haven't even popped out of it yet. Now, where should we go? Well, if we're trusting TA, and I wouldn't at this point in time, if we're trusting TA, it's currently signaling and flagging that we should be going about $1.10. All things being equal, I would imagine that's probably not going to happen. I would be looking for it more at about the 95-cent level. I do expect it to probably go up about there because we do have a lot of support and resistance right here. And so that would make perfect sense for me to see a little bit of a jump from where we're at here to here. All things being equal, that's a 25% move, kids. Not bad. I know XRP is not a one that the guys in America anyway. It's not something you can trade super easy. But if you do have the means and you are off American shores or whatever and can get in and out of Ripple pretty easy, then by all means you're looking at potentially probably a 22 to 25% boost. All things being equal. Now, if that's making one assumption, I have to kind of put this in as a caveat. In the short term, this might very well be the play of the week because it just seems to be working against the trend of everything else. Why? I don't know because I haven't had a chance to really watch the news as I should. However, will it hold? Will we see those ultimate prices of down at 22 to 25 cents? Yeah, I'm not changing my point on that, guys. I still fully expect it. So just because we see a little bit of a boost out of this triangle, that does not necessarily mean that we're going to be seeing, that $10 XRP that we've talked about forever, or that people have talked about forever and ever and ever and ever. I just don't see it happening. Just not yet. I would look to see probably maybe $1.10, but eventually when we get the slam, the big news, the big world event, stuff like that, it's all going down. I'm not stuttering about this, guys. Listen to me when I'm telling you that when the thing comes, you can call that war with Russia, you can call it a nuke, you can call it a coronal mass ejection, whatever you want to call it, or a plethora of all those things. But around about March, mid part of March, my group and I basically do expect something very, very, very violent to happen, or a series of things that's going to affect these markets to the downside. hard, hard, hard. And I will tell you that if you're in these markets holding and hodling and stuff like that, I'm going to say this again because I don't want to give anybody any false impressions that it's okay to hang on to something. If you're in profit on something right now, it's ultimately up to you to decide to take it. But if you're looking at profit hoping for more profit and you just heard what I just said, you're a fool, in my opinion, to hold through a disaster, because you're going to see a ridiculous drop. You're going to see an absolute ridiculous drop in the prices of crypto. So this would be one of those situations like, oh, I should have sold. Yes, you should have. Yes, you should have. Again, I am very liquid in a lot of my positions and stuff like that. I don't sell XRP ever because the amount of it that I've got, it's just not practical to do. I'm good. I bought it and I am still in profit on it, but it's just the price of getting back in and out of that stuff. It's just a massive pain in the ass. So, but I'm just talking about your Joe average, McDonald's money, whatever you want to call it. If you're in profit, take it. There's nothing wrong, especially if you're in profit of 20, 25%, something like that. Take it. If you're in profit of 3, 4, 5%, you might want to think about that because you're probably going to get chewed up in exchange fees and stuff like that. So that might be a completely different discussion. But as I see it right now, basically anyone that was in profit, I'm speaking broadly across the market, anybody that's in any of these things that's holding profit, you might want to step aside and let the train pass, because I think this is going to get a lot worse. Between, we'll say basically over the next 30 days, from about now to about mid-March. But that XRP play could be a little quick. If you're a degenerate gambler like many of you are, I'm self-included, I'm not throwing stones. If you want to get in on something XRP, you're still not going to get hurt owning XRP at $1, because we all know where it's going. So it's just one of those things. You might do well, and you might have to wait until the profits. So calculated gamble, not bad. So if we're lucky here, let's take a look and see if we can find a comparable play here. So in XLM is I kind of call it my American version of the XRP play, because it's a lot easier to play with this than it is to play with XRP when you're in America. And generally, not always, generally, you'll see the same situation. Now, looking at this, I kind of get a different narrative, because we are trapped inside of a downward channel here. It does indicate that we should see a flag, but we're rolling red, so I don't think it's going to hold. I don't think it's going to go up. And I will backtrack a little bit and say the same thing for XRP. Let's go back one more time so I can kind of reiterate what I'm talking about here. So if you wanted to do this, I wouldn't suggest you probably do it immediately. You just kind of want to watch it, because we are rolling off of green to red. So this is going to go down a little bit further. Watch it when we get kind of over in this general area. When these indicators start to go up a little bit, you might want to take a shot at it. But unless and until that happens, don't do it. So anyway, let's get back to this here. So all of our indicators are rolling red. This one's rolling down, down, down. All the Bollinger Bands are squeezing. Basically, we're looking at a downward thing. So again, here's our double indicators saying that we're going to be going down, our double confirmations. So just only a matter of time, kids. Only a matter of time. Sooner or later, we're probably going to, right in that general area, we're going to plop right down there and hit that thing again. And after a second confirmation, I could very easily see this thing going a lot lower than that. So our first real line of resistance is going to be like right about there. And then after that, it's going to get ugly. If we fall below this line right here, which I believe we will, we could be down there into some pretty crazy low prices. But we'll take that one drop at a time. So to get it from where we're at now down into this hole here, you're looking at probably a 50% drop. Now, a lot of guys have been talking about, when we get the event or the whatever, expect to see markets drop 70%. And I'm in full agreement of that. I do believe that we are going to see that much, because it's going to be that catastrophic of a thing as I see it, that this is why I'm saying, if you're in profit right now, do you really want to hold through a 70% market drop or a 50% market drop? I sure as hell don't. So I would highly recommend anyone that's in profit might want to take it. If the market goes up a little bit, don't sweat it. It's going to go back down. I mean, I'm emphatic in telling you this, guys. Very few times I'll step out on a limb and just say, listen to me. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. If I couldn't, I cannot state this strongly enough. These markets are going down. I've been saying it for a very long time. No matter what you see, no matter what you, but this coin, whatever, these markets are going down. And if you're holding anything, if you're holding profit, you're just letting them you're just letting them have money that you could have put in your own pocket. So take advantage of that. Now, if the markets do go up a little bit, hey, we can make money going up with it, whatever. So don't sweat it. But the odds of that happening and holding ground are extremely small, extremely small. So take those profits, guys. Don't be ashamed of doing that. That's what we're in the game for. Now, I will be, as long as I'm on the topic of XLM, this is one of our ISO coins. So moving forward, let's kind of get into a different topic here. My strategy, I'm not going to be, you're going to be hearing kind of a different theme from me over the next, we'll just say the next 4 to 6 months. I'm going to be talking very little about getting into anything from a personal level. I'm not going to be getting anything that is not an ISO coin. Those are what I call the banker coins, the big money coins, the world power coins. Those would be XLM, XRP, Algorand, Quant, those type of things. That's where I'm putting my money. I'm waiting for the bottom to fall out, and I'm throwing down. I'm buying as much as my greedy little hands can rake back. I am not going to be chasing Shiba. I am not going to be chasing huge amounts of these lesser coins and stuff like that. I love to play T-Fuel because you just can't pass up an easy win. But there's going to be very few of these coins and these latest meme coins or whatever, Doge, Shiba, whatever, that I'm going to be paying any attention to on a personal level. Of course, I'll chart them and I'll talk about them, and you guys do what you want to do. But this is not the time. This is a very dangerous time to be playing with coins that have no use case, no future promise. And I mean promise as in demonstrable, backed by credible people. We've had this discussion many times. This is not the time to be playing with those coins, because I'll tell you what, you will never feel a hotter fire than the burn you're going to take by holding these no-value coins, because if they go to zero, I'm not suggesting Shiba will go to zero, but if some of these coins, these lesser coins, go to zero, they're going to stay there, because we are going to get a washout in these coins. We've got like 36,000 coins in the space right now, and we can't have that. We can't maintain that for sooner or later there's going to be a consolidation and a washout and stuff like that, and you don't want to be holding these lottery ticket coins and stuff in a 50 to 70% market drop. That's just insanity. So take the profit if you're in it, and take a tip from a guy that made a few coins in his day, and put your money in solid projects. This is a very sketchy time to be speculating on iffy coins. I do want to get that off my chest, because I'm seeing a lot of guys that are in a group that are busting out. They're rolling the dice on these lesser coins and stuff. And this is probably, of all the time that we've been together, you guys have been with me and stuff like this, this is probably the stupidest time to be betting on shit coins. It truly is. Because they're going to go down exponentially harder and faster than the quality coins, and they're not going to come up as fast in a good market, because some of them are going to wash out, and you never know. So not worth the juice isn't worth the squeeze, as the old guys used to say. So just kind of want to make sure you understand this. So put your money into quality for the next couple of months, and you'll sleep a lot better. XTC being one of these. This is a bargain, guys. At 5 cents, I mean, I've said this multitude of times. Here, I want to show you guys something. I love it when I kind of come in and predictions have been hit. So this prediction, this green line right here, was put in clear up here. I told you we were going to achieve this, and not only did we hit it again and again and again and again. I told you we were going to come down to this midline level. We were going to hit them right in the middle of that circle, right in the middle of that line. I showed you this before we were ever there. We were clear up here. I said, this is where we're going. See what I'm saying? if you guys are sick and tired of throwing your money into something that you're guessing, you're listening to these YouTubers that don't know what they're saying, please join us. We'd love to have you join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. That's our free crypto group. You can go ahead and join us if you'd like to join us, and join us at Fibicharts.com and subscribe to these actual charts that have these marks on there. I tell you guys well in advance when this stuff is going to happen. If you'd like to have the unfair advantage, join us at Fibicharts.com and subscribe. All you simply do is go to FIBICharts.com, go to the upper left, go to subscribe, and if you want to get the charts, if you want to get the inside advantage, if you want to get the upper level VIP chats, you might want to consider joining Platinum, or at the very least join Gold. And that gives you a higher level of chat where you have access to me. I'm online 7 days a week when I'm not chasing Ukrainian girls in North Carolina. And so, which ain't too often. I'm not going to be making that drive anytime soon. So I'll be around for a while. But this is what you get for the money. So, this is well worth it to be able to kind of have a digital crystal ball that can tell you that this stuff is going to happen. So my next move, now for my next trick. This is going to go even lower, guys. So let me show you where we're going to go with this. I would strongly expect, like I told you, we're going to be pausing along this. It is not going to surprise me to see this thing probably fall. Get ready for this, guys, to a penny. A penny. Yes, you heard me right, a penny. And so how do I come by that? Well, let me show you. Let me show you a little something. So we're going to use standard TA. This is going to be a penny and some change, by the way. But look at that. This is our system called ISIS, which is our. This is not Fibonacci lines. These are our. For you guys that are new on our live stream, I always have to repeat myself. These are all part of our automated intelligence lines. These green lines are Fibonacci lines. The gold lines are our statistical programming that give us an average, that show us where these things are going to drop to. So. And what I just did there with the gray arrow, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in here. Let's go ahead and make that it's going to be red because she's going to happen. So we're going to be dropping down what we call a dual AI line, which is going to put us at 0.017. And I'm telling you right now, guys, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So if you have a chance to buy XDC at a penny and some change, let's just call it 2 cents. Let's just round it up. Call it 2 cents. Oh, brothers and sisters, you better buy it, because this is going to be an ISO coin. It's probably going to be the best value in all ISO coins right now, because it's not understood yet. It's not mainstream yet, but it's ISO compliant. It is part of the new system. And this is not speculation. This is fact. Capital F, fact. And so if you're not looking at the system that is and going, well, hey, they're going to need that particular cog. Maybe I should stock up on that particular gear or cog because, the machine needs that. I mean, you're looking at guaranteed money here, guys. Guaranteed. And so if you're not in this and you're not grabbing this thing, now I would have no problem with you buying this at 5 cents, because I think the upper end price is going to be huge. But again, if you get it 5 times or 3 times cheaper, why the hell wouldn't you? What is the all-time high? I don't have that on my chart. You have to look and see what it is. It hasn't hit the levels that it's going to be hitting. I mean, you're going to be looking at... It's been a while since I looked at the Anubis output on it. I'm in a fairly short period of time. We're going to be seeing $10, $13 for this thing. It's going to be a year or so before it starts to get. But man, wouldn't you love to own Amazon at $2-3 or something? It's one of those things. I mean, this is not a this week or this month play, but man, if you could scoop that up. I mean, this is the McDonald's play of the year, guys. If you guys are using that McDonald's money looking for something that it's not going to be a quick kill. Don't get it twisted. This isn't going to be something you're going to invest on Monday and on Tuesday go out and buy yourself a Lamborghini, because it's not going to happen. But if you're holding, and I'll just say $500. I don't even know what the hell McDonald's people get paid anymore. Probably more than I made on my mid-level manager job, my last respectable job I had. But $10, is it $10? So I think it's actually 13 here local. But anyway, so if you're pulling down $600-700 McDonald's money a week or whatever, just imagine buying $600 worth of this stuff at 2 cents. And then sitting back and letting that stuff, age like fine wine, what you'll have. I mean, that's a hell of a deal, folks. That's a hell of a deal. So, and again, all you guys that have more to do, but I wouldn't go all in on this one because there's going to be many examples of this one. But this is one of my favorites because it's just a screaming bargain ready to happen. And so, again, we're going to be watching it. So the halfway point we always like to kind of watch. So, again, we could be at 3.5 cents. We'll probably come down to about, I'll just go ahead and mark it. We'll come down to about 3.5 cents because we have confluence with the bottom of that. You can see where we're at with the channel. So I would highly expect that you're going to see a little bit of a stop-off point. Let me change that. You're going to see a little bit of a stop-off point, a little correction. We'll walk sideways for a little while, and maybe we'll capitulate and go down a little bit more. But look for seeing interaction at 3.5% or 3.5 cents on XDC, which, again, not a bad buy. But I'm holding for this bad boy right here because I see it coming. So, all right. So Theta, let's take a look at Theta and let's take a look at T-Fuel. So let me do a quickie little gestalt on that. All right. So again, here we go. This was a prediction. I said we're going to be coming down to this line. We're going to hit it and pa-ping right off of it. Beautiful. Love it when it works like it's supposed to. So now where is it going from there? Lower, lower. Basically, that's just a rejection point on the way down. So again, you can see that very familiar trumpet starting to form. That descending, broadening, descending wedge is starting to form right there. From there, down we go, right to this predictive arrow. So that's where I'm expecting it to head. And they'll probably be doing that over the next week, week and a half. And all the markets will probably be doing pretty much the same thing. So let's see if we can make some money with the T-Fuel. T-Fuel's our flipper coin, our favorite flipper coin. So I always like to kind of go back and reiterate why I adore this thing. Because basically, we're looking at a 20-cent coin right now. I always like to play the odds. Odds are a big, big thing. Statistical probabilities are a big, big thing with me. Is the upside better than the downside? Well, then we buy. I kind of call it the iceberg theory. Where are we on the iceberg? Are we below the waterline or are we above the waterline? And so back when we were down here, and I told you guys this is on this one arrow here, this was probably a good time to buy had you bought it. And I know a few of you did on my recommendation. You'd be looking at 82%, 82.5%. And you're not like you missed a few times. You had 1, 2, 3, 4 times that you could have tagged that thing and made 82%. So not bad. Now, have you missed that? Have you missed the boat? I don't think so, because again, the whole thing is going to go down. But again, you're looking at a period of time from here to our first 82%. You're looking at a period of 13 bars, 13 days. 13 or 80% in basically 2 weeks. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. This is why I like this, because it goes up and down constantly. And the best part about this, the point I want to make with this, is if you buy it right, like at a 20 cent right now would be, I would consider it a high price because I expect it to go lower. But if you screwed up and you thought, well, it looks like a bull flag and I think we'll probably go higher, which we might. Here, I'll take a look at here in a second. But what if it doesn't and it goes down? Well, I just got hung with a 20-cent T-Fuel. It's okay. It's fine, because all you got to do is wait it out and the money will come, because this thing is so volatile. It goes up and it goes down. But again, the future price of this thing is going to be so much higher than 20 cents that even if you screwed up and bought this thing and you got over exhilarated and you bought this thing right now and it went south on you when it should have gone north, you're not going to lose, because we're not at the top of the market. We're at the bottom of the market for this. So you might have missed an inning, but you're not going to miss the whole play, or you're not going to miss the whole game. You're not going to throw the whole game. It's kind of a pseudo analogy I would give you. But anyway, to look at this currently right now, we are rolling out of a very strong, almost triple session green. So all indicators are down. If you're looking at this thing, if you're just using TASTA, it would fake you to believe that we are basically in a bull flag headed up, and that's not the case. That is negative. That is negative. That is negative. This is pinching. The alligators are starting to go together, and there's nothing about this that says it's positive, other than the fake formation that you're looking at. So thereby, you can see the last candle is actually going down, so we're going to be coming down. We're probably going to be coming down right on top of that again. Same as with a lot of these coins. So now, if you want to play it that way, let's clean house here a little bit, and let's get into a real play here real quick. I'd like to leave a little something for you guys to make a little money on, or at least try to make a little bit of money on. So how can we make some money on T-Fuel right now? Let's take a look. All right, so if we were to extend this channel all the way down, I would expect to probably see this hit right on top of that somewhere. When we touch this thing here, I'm going to expect a ricochet. So we have to, and I'll try to make the most sense I possibly can out of this. So we've got some support and resistance right there. See where I'm looking at? So this is our target zone to hit here. If we come down here and hit the top of this area right here, or this general area right here, I would expect a ricochet upward, probably of maybe about there. So the distance in price from about, let's just take it in the middle of that right there to about right there, it's 20%. So here's what I would tell you is this. If we come down into this area here, which is about 15-cent T-Fuel, by the way, if you can buy it at 15 cents, and again, we're not trying to invest for long term. This is not a hodl play. This is a Hail Mary, grab it and go kind of. This is degenerate gambling, is what this is. Let's just go. But it's fun. And so here's what you're going to do, or what I'm going to do actually. When it gets down to 15 cents, I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to watch it. Now, my thought is this: we've got so much green here, we're going to go red for a while, and then we're going to go green. So generally speaking, so all of my indicators are saying down. So you could see on that next candle, that bad boy could slam right down there. Very possible. Look how fast it came up. That's an opening move. It could close right back down there again, and it could hit on top of that. So at about, let's just call it at about 15, you might even want to call it 1575, 0.1575 or less. It's going to strike the top of that thing, and it's going to rebound. So if I can net myself anywhere from 15 to 25%, done and done. And if it goes up even higher and more violently fast until I can catch it and cash out, bully, great, that's awesome. But I'm going into it expecting a 15 to 20% return on my money. So watch it. Let's see what happens. I expect it'll happen. Odds of that happening, probably 80-85%, if not higher. I'll leave those key indicators there so you know where to go. So again, if you guys want this particular chart here and you want to be able to watch this stuff rather than kind of go back and, do it, be a cheapskate and try to do this for free off of YouTube, man, invest in those tools. This is the finest tool you will ever have as an investor. Join us at Fibicharts.com. Subscribe to at least the gold. And I'll tell you what, actually, we do still have some coupons available. So if you'd like to try VIP Gold, go ahead and go to Fibicharts.com and subscribe to VIP Gold or Platinum if you want a wider array of coins, which most people who come into gold usually end up going up to Platinum in a very short period of time. So, if you've got over $25,000, $30,000 in crypto, you might as well just go ahead and go straight to Platinum. If you do that, you can use the coupon YouTube, all caps, no gaps, capital YOUTUBE, no gaps between U and tube, all capital letters, and I think you get 10% off your first month's purchase or your continuing. I don't know which one it is, but I think it's like 10% off or something like that. But worth it. Again, buying the best tools possible. I mean, one bad trade will cost you far more than buying correct tools. Stop trying to use a butter knife as a screwdriver, for God's sake. You know what I'm saying? We've all been there. So use the right tool for the right job. All right, so let's take a look at a few others here. And of course, obviously, we want to join. We want to take a look at this one here. Still not showing any promise. Sorry, I get such a thrill out of that, but I do. All right, so since I've been gone, we're still trapped in a downward channel, and we're dropping. We're into the green zone, which technically speaking, I should probably change that into a yellow zone or into something not green because there's nothing green about that. There's a strong opening move, guys. This thing's starting to roll over. I'll speak to this specifically because I know a lot of you guys hold this stuff and you second guess, third guess, quadruple guess yourself. Should I sell? Should I sell? Should I sell? Listen to me very carefully. I'm going to show you not my opinion. I'm going to show you what the charts say, and I'm going to define what they should do. And you make that intelligent decision. Don't be in my chats telling me, oh my God, I should have sold, I should have listened. Let me show you why I think what I think. All right, so that being said, we are in a downward channel. You can very clearly see, we're talking about the white channel, not the red channel. You can very clearly see we have spiked up. What goes up that fast? What happens? Now, you should look at that. You should expect this, but don't. Because you can see on this last daily candle, we are dropping. We dropped into a support and resistance area. Now, this is when we start to look at this ghosty bubble back here, which is called the Bollinger Band, and we're looking at these three lines right here. And we're watching those with great interest to see what's going on. When green crosses red, and that's actually blue there, just look at, when green starts to lose strength and starts to cross the red and blue, that means the Titanic is going down, and it's going down. It's crossing right now, starting to wilt, and it's starting to roll over. We have a downward motion. So again, when we have the Bollinger Band is opening up like that, whenever it's opening up, it will accelerate the direction of what it's doing. Meaning if it's going up, that band is getting, or that bubble's getting fatter, it means we're going to go up more. If it's going down, it means we're going to go down more. So, I mean, there's no unclear interpretation as to what's going to happen next. So those two alone ought to be enough to tell you that the Titanic is going down. However, here's the DMI. This is our Anubis DMI. You can see the green is kind of going sideways a little bit, but it's favoring down. So any minute now, this is going to start. This is a digital moving index. And so you can also see that the MACD is coming out of a very strong long session. This could be rolling red. When we go red, that means down. We are losing strength on the RSI. So we are 5 for 5 to the down. Now, we haven't talked about this for a long time. I've kind of just haven't really got into this. So I want to teach you guys some stuff. What is all this grid nonsense that I'm looking at that I don't see on anybody else's YouTube stuff? This is part of what we call the unfair advantage grid. This is our automated intelligence system. This is ISIS and Anubis. These are our two bots that manage statistical probabilities, and these dotted lines that go up and down are what's called pulse markers. So I have to kind of go back every once in a while and explain this to the new people. I mean, the old guys already know what this is, but basically what these are clock cycles, and I'm going to do a specific video that I can reference so I don't have to teach this stuff all the time. But when we cross these lines, you'll notice something very interesting that happens. This is when the decisions are made by the market to pump or dump. You'll notice when we hit a pulse marker right here, boom, up she goes. We hit a pulse marker, down she goes. We hit another one, down she goes. Up she goes. These dotted lines tell you not only where, the side lines tell you not only where it goes, but the dotted lines and the up and down lines tell you when. So it's when and where. So this is why I'm saying I could run to North Carolina for 3 days because I already got a system that tells me when this is going to go up and go down. So now what we're looking at here is when is this thing going to go ba-boom, down. Our next pulse marker is in exactly, and this is a 1 day pulse marker we're looking at. 5 days. Within the next 5 days, plus minus of 5 days, we're going to be down here, way down here in this area. I have to use a price thing here because there's so many stinking zeros. So we're probably going to be down here in this general area. So what I'm telling you is this. We've got a very strong drop already just on the 1 day candle. Then total candle drop has already been 16%. Does that hurt enough? Because it's going to hurt even more because it's going to keep going. So we're sitting on support and resistance right now. Actually, we went a little bit below support and resistance. So on the 1 day, all of this stuff is indicating down, down, down. So in the next 5 days, we're going to find ourselves down here where this green box is indicating. And if you want to be holding that, God bless you. I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be doing it because that's not going to be the end of the story. It's going to go even lower. That's where I've told you guys this is going, and it is going to go that low. $70 to 75% drop right there. As I told you, all I don't want to call this a shit coin. All meme coins, lesser coins, non-ISO coins are going to take a harder hit in a catastrophic drop. If everything quality is dropping 50, everything non-quality and speculative is going to go 60, 65, 70, 75, some maybe even 80 and 85. So there you go. That's point case. So we don't really talk an awful lot about Doge anymore because it's just yesterday's news. But always kind of amusing to kind of watch. I mean, by and large, this thing's actually doing better than Shiba. But again, we've had this sitting here just waiting. Now, again, here is yet again another example of predictions that have come to play. There's our 50%. I told you. We came down and hit it exactly. I predicted it was going to come down right here on, let's say, on about December 3rd. I said we're going to expect a drop to here. Boom, boom, boom. Down she goes, tapped right on the bottom of that and hit it. Not only did we hit it exactly to the pixel, and rejected up, and here we are in that same formation. We're underneath the box. So we are basically underneath a strong resistance where all this thing can do is just work its way down. Same as everything else. So the whole of the market is down. The theme is down. Do want to cover this here because this is I found some pulse markers in this thing, or I found some time cycles in this, and I'm watching. It's been a while since I've been watching this, but I'm waiting for the next pump window to hit on this. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Well, we're actually coming up a little bit. We're getting close, guys. So if you guys are subscribed to the charts and stuff like that, I think we're about ready to see another one of these big boys right here. There are some mini pumps going on in here, but I think a big one's going to come here real quick. So we're looking at probably within a week to a week and a half, maybe within a week to 2 weeks, we're going to be seeing a pump. We do not. Let me specify how we buy this. This is Populous, by the way. You do not buy Populous when you see all the indicators going down. So if you are getting ready for this pump is what I'm trying to say. All the indicators are rolling down, which means we're still going to go down. We're probably going to smack off the bottom of this yellow box. If I were wanting to line myself up to cash in on this pump, I would probably be. This is not a call or a recommendation. This is just kind of my theory, or not my theory, but my gut level instinct says this is probably where I'd be buying it. I would probably be looking to make a purchase right at the bottom of that box to have myself aligned and ready to go on this right here. Now, again, this is one of those things. You're buying at the bottom of the market. And, this thing's having a lot of issues with this coin. It's a good quality coin. It's got a lot of potential, but, it's got some bad press right now. And it's just got a lot of really nasty stuff that's suppressing it. However, the business model is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I have no fear in holding this for these. I mean, let me clear some of this out. Look at some of these ridiculous pumps. Look at this thing. It's just nuts. I mean, I called 22 of these things, 23 of these things in a row. Let me get this out of the way here. 196% in one spike, or two spikes. How ridiculous is that? And I've found a time cycle on this thing where I've called 22 or 23 of these things and caught all of these spikes. And so all it is wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. You will not find another coin. I have not found another coin that has been so manipulated to our advantage as Populous. So as long as this is going to do this, I'm by God going to just milk this cow till the legs fall off of it. And so we haven't seen any of these big ones for a while, but hey, I'll take a 25, 35, 40, 50% pump any day of the week. Any day of the week. So I think that things have settled down. As I told you back in this area, I said things are settling down. We're not seeing it as much. And I told you guys to walk away for a while because I wasn't expecting anything like this. But I think, well, you know, we haven't talked about this for a while. We have an old saying, sleepers wake up running. You know, this thing's starting to go into a kind of it's a little early to call it, but, you know, I think this thing's starting to go into a sleeper pattern where if we get down here about another month or so, there's going to be one hell of a wake up for this thing. And, you know, if we miss a little pump here or there, whatever, I'm willing to hold this thing for a month or so to pick up a 300, 400% boost. Let's take a look at this one here real quick, and I'll get off this subject. So from right here to right here, that was 183. You know, from down at this lower area here, from here to this green dual AI line, that would be a 515% boost. And it's very likely that it could happen because we have support and resistance right there. So all it takes is a little bit of manipulation and boom, baby, 500% right in the can, right there. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. Just want to kind of say thank you very much for enduring my running around the country, and you know, I'm a romantic at heart. I've got to get out every once in a while. So thank you very much for joining me. And again, like and subscribe. Join us at the unfairadvantage.chat, and we'd love to see you there. And of course, obviously, like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody about me, drag them back here, say, hey, this guy's got something kind of different, because we do have some stuff different. And so until next time, be good, be safe, be good, and be good at it. Peace and air grease, baby.